I love how Zoom notifies you of everything. This is being recorded. You're being live streamed. You got to be careful.
You will get in trouble.
I know, right? Oh, so what's new?
Same old, man. Just doing a lot of testing on focus blocks, sales pages, and all that stuff. It's, yeah, way more testing than I would have wanted to do, but it's the only scientific approach to kind of scaling an ad campaign. So there's a lot of testing of the sales page, etc., that's going on right now. Yeah. What about you, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, my times are hard, so I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, this last week I was camping with my son. So, I mean, Monday I just spent a bunch of time essentially gearing everything up so that my team could get all the episodes out and knew what to work on while I was gone. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday I was out. So I got back last night and I haven't really done a whole lot of anything work related this week. It's mostly
back in action next week.
Yeah, so I'm back at it today. I might sneak a little bit of time in tomorrow, just get up a little early. But yeah, it's probably going to be mostly just back at it on Monday. But yeah, it's I'm a little tired spending the week with that many teenagers, and
oh my god,
I slept outside for 2 days, and so my allergies, I'm still recovering from that.
Oh no, yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah,
allergies at this time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain too heartily. I brought a hammock and I just slept in the hammock, and so at least I didn't wake up with any back pain or anything like that. It was just, I just had crud coming out of my eyes and nose for a couple of days.
No bears trying to cuddle with you on the hammock?
No, we were in a fairly well established camp. So yeah, not really. It was just along this well, we call them rivers here in Utah, but you can wade across them. So
well, stream.
Depending on where you're from, I don't know if it qualifies, right? Because I've been to rivers that you can't see across. So anyway, but yeah. So the boys had a good time, running around in there, and yeah, spent a bunch of time with the guys from the church. Yeah, it was good. It was really good. But
nice.
Yeah, the one nice thing about that, and I've gotten this in other ways too, like my wife bought on Groupon, she got the what are they called? They're the float tanks, right? So it's like got salt water in it, so you just lay back in it and you just float. And it's like complete sensory deprivation, right? Because they turn off all the lights and they don't play any music or any noise, and you just lay in there for an hour. And this was kind of the same thing, right? Because there was no cell service out there. And so it was nice for me to be able to just sit. And I mean, I spent plenty of time chatting with other people and getting to know the kids and stuff, but there was plenty of time too for me to just go be by myself and just, not have any noise, any distractions, any nothing. Didn't put my earbuds in, so I didn't have any noise playing into my head. I could literally just, sit there and think, or sit there and try not to think, and just, just kind of clear my head of all the junk. And it's nice to be able to come back and go, okay, all this junk has been cleared out, and now I can focus on, these couple of things, right? And really get focused on that. So that's kind of the deal here. So I kind of had a couple of breakthroughs. One of them was that I need to spend more time with my kids and make them more of a priority. So I'm trying to work things out so that when they get home from school, I can just drop work on the ground and then just go help them with homework. record a podcast with them, stuff like that, hang out, whatever, play video games for an hour or two, and then come back to work, right? And so they feel like they're the priority when they get home. And my wife's okay with that. She, we talked, and I was like, it may mean that I'm working a little later, but the trade-off is worth it for us. So just stuff like that. And then just really getting clear on what I want, who I want to help, and things like that. And okay, now how do I get in front of them? And so I'm redirecting the messaging just a little bit, but
What's going on with that?
So a couple of things. One of them, so I think it was it's 2 weeks ago almost. I talked to Cliff Ravenscraft. I don't know if you know Cliff, podcast answer man.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
So I've known Cliff for years and years. And talked to him about coaching too. One thing that he suggested was that I do a regular call where people can jump on and essentially get it looks a lot like coaching, right? And so I just answer their questions. We talk about what it means to be a
Isn't that what you're doing right now?
What do you mean? No, it's an open call for anybody who wants to come on. So it's kind of like a webinar, except it's just open-ended for people to come ask questions. And then what he does is then he invites people off of that into the coaching call where he does his sales pitch. And so then he knocks it out of the park there. And he has a sales process like that. And I thought that might be worth a try. And yeah, the other thing is I'm really looking at I need to finish formalizing. I've gotten a good start on it, but I need to finish formalizing what exactly is involved in the coaching, because then when I'm talking to people, I can just say, hey, look, you're going to get this and this and this and this, and it's going to take about this long, right? And then the other thing that he brought up and I really liked was that when he does coaching, when he talks to people about coaching, he gets a commitment for a certain amount of time. And so when he pitches them, it's not just, hey, it's so much a month. For him, it's hey, look, this is a 6-month coaching commitment, and you can pay it all up front, or you can break it up into payments. And then we'll work through to get this outcome. And I think we can get there in whatever time frame he proposes to him. And so to a certain degree, it's kind of bespoke. It's a bespoke offering for them, right? And I can do the same thing, right? So if they've already kind of gotten partway down the road toward starting a podcast or something like that, it could be a 4-month commitment instead of a 6-month commitment or something like that, right? But yeah, so then he basically tells them, look, so that it's so much if you want to just pay for it now, or it's so much a month if you want to pay for it monthly. And then he just lines it up, but then they know they're in it for a 6-month commitment.
Yeah, it is a double-edged sword. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you get the commitment. It's a bad thing because you will lose certain people who may not even be okay with it. So then it also
some people may not want to make a 6-month commitment, or if it's $1,000 per month for 6 months, they may not want to make a $6,000 commitment, right?
Yeah,
I get that.
So it's going to be an interesting situation here for you.
Yeah,
where you choose how to you choose where, who. Yeah.
Yep. But I feel like too that if I get like with these calls, if I get more FaceTime with them up front, and I'm able to talk to them and then get them on the coaching call, I can kind of frame things a little bit more, like on the one-on-one coaching call. And then he gave me a whole bunch of walkthroughs on what he does on those one-on-one coaching calls. It was really helpful in just adding a ton of value to that and making it kind of a knocking it out of the park experience so that they want to come back and get the coaching from me. And so that was also extremely valuable. So Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
to him again next week. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's good, man. Hopefully that gets you more people in the door.
yeah.
Is there any progress you've made on your lead magnets versus your how many podcast episodes you're getting downloads for compared to like getting the podcast out there? All those things.
Not really. I need to redo the ad spots for the accelerator. And then I also need to come up with some kind of lead magnet that, gets people in the door on the list kind of thing, so that I can market to them and then see if I can get them to, go and apply.
Yeah,
I'm also going to be doing additional outreach in other places. That was the other thing he was talking to me about. Is he basically said that he has five coaching slots every week, and if he doesn't have them filled, then he actually goes and just prospects. So he'll send messages to people on LinkedIn that have connected to him, or Facebook that have connected to him, and just starts talking to him about, hey, what are you working on? Where are you at? What are you and then he'll ask some pointed questions that'll bring them around to the kinds of things that he coaches people on. And then if there's if they look like they're a good fit, then he'll actually offer to coach them for an hour, and then he goes through his process there. And I'm kind of liking that too, right? So if I'm not filling my coaching slots, then I use those coaching slots to go and actually do some active selling.
Yeah, I mean, you only have so much time. So
yeah.
If you the question or challenge in my mind is improving your existing funnel versus going and prospecting. Because going and prospecting is okay for people who don't necessarily build a decent funnel. But if you build a funnel, you shouldn't have to go and prospect.
Yeah.
And if you have an audience as big as you do, I don't think prospecting is. Maybe Cliff, I don't know what his situation is. But, your existing funnel has a lot of holes right now, especially like something we identified just a couple of weeks ago, which is just the fact that you're not even reaching 50,000 people. You're just reaching like 300 people right now. So that's just one example of all the different holes that funnel needs to be.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you are better off fixing one funnel and making it work rather than chasing 20 different things, trying to prospect and trying to close this and trying to close that and all that crap. I would much rather that you get one funnel freaking working, because then you can put all your energy behind that one funnel. You can put all your energy behind putting out a damn good content piece rather than like, oh, now I have to also, like those 5 hours that you're saying you could spend somewhere else, you should be spending on fine tuning one funnel. Remember the whole one funnel away thing that,
No, I hear what you're saying. It
always, like, the thing is, these things, there's always someone who's proposing a shiny new way of doing things that feels more like, okay, that might be the answer for what I'm trying to do, but beware of the fact that the answer is usually making it work, at least making one thing work rather than making 5 things work.
No, I understand that.
So I would just focus on getting that damn funnel working rather than at all spending time and energy on anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like people who talk about alternative methods to prospecting usually are not very technically or funnel savvy. or not very marketing savvy per se. So they're more interested in sales, hand-to-hand combat kind of
Yeah, well,
processes.
he pretty directly addressed that. Yeah, he tried doing it with a funnel, and he found that this way worked better for him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I
Yeah.
found that people who are in that category are usually not marketing savvy. They're more like, let me just build a relationship with someone and try to get that going, try to close them through that. But
Yeah.
a funnel is much more powerful because it's an infinitely more scalable solution.
Yeah, but
Hand-to-hand
that
combat.
part of the conversation around that is, I only need 10, maybe 20 coaching clients, as opposed to having this big scalable funnel that gets me hundreds of them. I don't have time to service hundreds of coaching
It's
clients.
true and not true, because you will always be churning out of people.
Yeah.
So you will always be looking for new people. And not only that, if you can get it to 20, you should be scaling it to 40. If you can get it to 40, you should be scaling it to 100.
Yeah, if
rather
I
than
got to
worry
that point,
about.
though, I would have to be hiring other coaches or finding
Exactly.
another way to teach them.
Exactly. All of that is true. But the fundamental still holds that either you get good at marketing and the marketing systems and automation and overall, or you have to resort to doing more of hand-to-hand combat.
Right. And, it did occur to me as I was talking to Cliff that, his process, he's always going to have to be prospecting. Like, he's always going to have to be doing that, prospecting work. And
it's dangerous. To me, it is dangerous because it's a lot of it's just never-ending cycle of not knowing when your clients are coming to you. So hand-to-hand combat is good for a short duration of time, but at some point you need to start building systems and processes to make it all work. And funnels to make it work.
Maybe, but still, I don't know. I think the way he operates and the way he has things put together, I mean, I could see that it would work in most markets. The issue is do I want to be the guy chasing my prospects that way for the rest of my career? And I don't know that I do. And so that's where the funnel is appealing, right? Because essentially at that point, then I just have to make sure that I continually put my message in front of people and get them into the funnel.
So here's one thing I've been learning over the last few months, I guess, few months and more specific few weeks. It is totally possible to do hand-to-hand combat, like scalability of a solution. And just like as in your case, given how many downloads you get, the last thing I would expect you to do is go churn up another marketing system or sales system. Go figure out another way to get people in the door. It just does not it does not compute in my mind, because it's like, well, you're leaving these 60,000 people here to go chase some other shiny object.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the people let's say I decide to go reach out to people on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or something, right? These are all people that have come to me off of the podcasts anyway, right? And so
what do you mean? You don't even know if they are interested in what you have to offer. These are just random people you're prospecting.
No, they're not. They're people that have reached out to me on these platforms, right?
For what?
To tell me that they're fans of the show, to tell me they like what I'm doing. We already have some connection. So they're not just random people.
They're random because they can be fans of the show who have nothing to do with wanting to start their own show.
Yeah, that's fair. But so are the people listening. In fact, some of the people who fill in that form wind up being those people.
That's always going to be the case, but you're basically taking the roundabout way to hold your nose right now. If you go try to do this prospecting thing, is how I feel about this. Because you already have a whole damn audience. How many downloads you get a month right now? 200,000, 100,000 overall.
Probably about 200,000.
Overall,
I mean, that's not people though. That's downloads, right?
it doesn't matter. The fact that you're getting into that many, like you're being heard 200,000 times a month, should
Yeah,
be
but it's not
plenty
always
of.
me, right? I'm
But
not on all the shows.
your bumper will always be there
Yes.
if you wanted to. Right now, you don't have it.
Yeah, and that's
Right now, you don't have
definitely
it.
that's definitely the way I should be going. Is yeah, I need to make sure that
It
bumper's
is
out
the
there. And
longer path. It is the longer path in some ways, but not necessarily, because the time you will spend prospecting, if you spend that time on just fixing up your funnel, it would pay off much, much, much more dividends, is what I'm saying. Yeah, 5 hours prospecting versus 5 hours fixing your funnel. You might be able to get a client from 5 or 10 hours of prospecting, but if you fix the damn funnel, you're making sure that that money comes, or you're going to get prospects for a very long time from that damn thing. So it is painstaking work, but it is also the most, like, long-term rewards on it are way, 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 way bigger than the hand-to-hand combat stuff. So
yeah, I mean, I can see what you're saying, and I can see where it would be right. I don't know. I've always been the kind of person where I kind of want to try it and see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, there are definitely some things I need to be doing up front, like making sure that the messaging is on point and that people have a place to go, right? Making sure that my message is hitting them and, you know, getting them moving through the system.
if you fixed all of that and you started hitting 200,000 eardrums every freaking month, that's plenty. If you fix your messaging, and if you're able to convey the right messaging, irrespective of whether hand-to-hand combat or not, and if you're able to get that message in front of 200,000 people, you'll have way more results from that. Well, all I'm trying to say is don't fall for a shiny object, because you already have something in front of you that you haven't yet fully turned the knob on, because you haven't had the time. And now you're saying you're going to create time for something which is even more intensive compared to doing something that pays off dividends for very long periods of time. Because if you work the funnel and if you improve that funnel, that's going to, one episode that you put out there, like, okay, just today I saw like a sale come in, and I saw this PayPal payment coming in, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is this affiliate payment for a podcast episode I did in April of last year. And I had published a podcast episode, like, it was basically, I was a guest on someone else's podcast, and I promoted one of our products, the meditation program.
Right.
And 17 months later, or no, not 17, 16 months later, I'm still getting affiliate commissions from that one podcast episode. Right? That is the power of having something that works, and it's just there to do the work for you for a very long period of time.
Right.
While hand-to-hand combat is literally hand-to-hand combat. It's not a machine. It's never a machine.
I understand that.
That's my big concern about this, that you're going to find yourself spending time on hand-to-hand combat and not fixing the real stuff that you need to fix, which is the messaging and the funnel, the basic messaging and the funnel, the basic stuff of your podcast, like getting your podcast on 200,000 downloads, getting your episode on every freaking channel and all those. Like, you haven't had the time for that. How do you expect to have time for hand-to-hand combat now?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that last week where I was racing to get the books done, I made it work. I made a whole bunch more time work for me. And so I think I can pull together the time. But honestly, yeah, my primary focus is going to be getting the messaging correct on that funnel and making sure that, or on the funnel, making sure that it's getting on the shows, make sure that the bonus episodes are going out, make sure, because that stuff has worked. And so there's no reason to not do that. Right. But if I find that I get all that stuff done,
You will never get all that stuff done is what I'm trying to tell you, because you can always improve that damn funnel. Or you can, like, there's so much to improve in that funnel right now. Your funnel is very rudimentary. It's almost to the point where it's 101, right? And even 101 has a bunch of holes in it. You fix that, and then you got to 201, then you go to 301, then you go to 401. Like what I was initially talking about, the idea that I'm trying to currently fix my funnel for focus blocks. I've been obsessively testing the shit on Facebook ads. I've spent thousands of dollars just this month testing the damn one sales page, trying to find that one page that could work. The thing is, if I did hand-to-hand combat for focus blocks, I could sell the damn thing. I could sell the damn thing all day. Like if I talk to someone and be like, okay, this is what you need. This is perfect. This is great for you. But I'm saying, no, I don't have the time for, I don't ever want to do that, because it's important for me to have one funnel that really converts like crazy. And I'm willing to put a lot of time and energy and money into it, because I believe that is way more effective than hand-to-hand combat. I'm giving you a very simplistic example here. And in your case, you don't even have to spend the money on it. Like I'm spending thousands of dollars right now on Facebook ads. You don't even have to spend that. You literally have audience sitting there for you, plenty of audience sitting there for you, waiting to hear from you. All you need to do is put your message out there every single week, and it will work. The obsession, the obsession of fixing a funnel is, I understand the excitement of something new, but boy, man, like having something that's like that exists that you fix and fix and fix and fix and fix, that's where magic is. That's where freaking super growth is. Because otherwise we're just like, we keep going back to square one, trying to just fix something, or trying to like rev up one more funnel, rev up one more way of doing things, rev up one more marketing channel, rev up one more way to sell this thing. Once you have some metrics on your podcast, once you have some data on your podcast, like, okay, if I can get in front of this many people, these many people come to my page, these many people are signing up for the lead magnet, and these many people are showing up for a call, and these many people am I converting, then you know something is going on. Yeah. Then you know you have a rudimentary. Well, everything takes time. What you're about to do is also going to take time.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if let's say I get the lead magnet figured out, I get I get the sales page, updated. I get the messaging updated on the podcast. I have bonus episode go out. I mean, I'm kind of on a wait and see until the next week, right?
That's to see if the numbers improve. That's nothing. That 7-day period of time. Are you saying that 7 days is too long of a time compared to?
No, I'm just saying that if I'm going to sit and wait and see, I could go prospecting a little and see how that goes too.
No, because you could be doing so much more to fix the damn thing that you aren't doing right now. Stuff we've talked about for a few months now. Fixing the lead page, fixing the email funnels, fixing the automation sequences, fixing the, like, what if you end up going down the path of doing hand-to-hand prospecting, it has its own pros and cons. It's not
Oh yeah.
all
No, I don't
rainbows and
think it.
sunshines.
No, I don't think it
And
is.
the
But I
problem
do
with
think that if I could fill at least part of my coaching by doing it, it would take some of the pressure off.
how many hours do you think you would need to even find one client like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know right now, right? We have no clue. But if you had 20 hours devoted to fixing your funnel, could you double the number of leads that are coming into your number of calls that you're going to get?
Probably.
There's the answer. If you spend 20 hours, you double the number of calls you get, that's going to get you more sales. That's going to get you double the sales. The problem that I think we all face is the idea that somehow the automation stuff is just way too long term, while the hand-to-hand combat
No,
stuff is more like I can get the result, I can get the end result right away.
no, because I think the funnel stuff is the right answer long term. I think it is. But it feels like if I could build at least some of this up more rapidly using this other method, right?
And
I'm feeling
you
a
yourself
little.
said you yourself said you don't know how long it will take. While when I asked you if you put 20 hours, could you double the number of leads coming in? You said yes. So to
I
me,
said
the answer is
probably.
not clear. Yeah, which is a way better answer than not even knowing what will happen in 20 hours if you try to prospect.
Yeah, but if I put in 5 hours on the prospecting end and it does work out.
And everything that every marketing channel that you're gonna rev up is gonna have its own challenges, problems, frustrations, everything.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like if you're gonna start revving up like hand-to-hand combat, going to people, and then there's this whole like, oh yeah, now you should take this LinkedIn course. It will teach you how to do cold prospecting. It will teach you how to reach in people's inboxing and how to convert them into a call and this and the LinkedIn coaches course, how to become the $1 million LinkedIn 7-figure LinkedIn coach and the 7-figure Facebook Messenger coach. And before you know it, you are down the funnel, down the rabbit hole of hand-to-hand combat this, hand-to-hand combat that, and hand-to-hand combat this, compared to sitting on a gold mine with 200,000 downloads every single month, which you haven't tapped into yet. That's my concern. You're trying to go down a path of doing something that is, to me, brand new in your approach of things compared to something you already have so much. You've already done the work on something, and now you're going to go and prospect people again all over again. I don't know, man. It just sounds like a lot of unnecessary work to me.
Yeah, well, you're also talking about it like I'm just going to drop the one and go for the other.
It is almost impossible to do both, is what I'm going to tell you, because you're not going to spend time on both. You don't have that much time. I know that. Because otherwise I would be seeing you in focus blocks way more often.
Yeah. Well, the last couple of weeks have been.
I know. That's why I'm saying that. You are a busy man. You got a lot going on right now. I am 100% convinced you're only going to be able to do one or the other. You can't do both. If you try to do both, that's even worse to me. That's just way too much energy being spent all over the place. That's way too much energy being spent all over the place. You at least want to get one thing working. And now you're caught between cold prospecting versus a marketing automation.
Yeah. Well, it's not cold. I mean, these people know who I am. They know what I can do.
Yeah. It's lukewarm prospecting, if you want to call it that, because we don't know if they actually have any interest in that thing.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that about the podcast listeners either. And you're treating it like it's 200,000 people, and it's not.
It's not 200,000 people, 200,000 listens. Most people
Yeah.
don't have anywhere close to 200,000 listens who can. It's so much.
Yeah, but that doesn't make this a slam dunk either.
It's not a slam dunk, but get it in front of 200,000 people for a month and then we can talk. Get it in front of
200,000 people. I mean,
200,000 listens. Get it in front of 200,000 listens. Get 200,000 listens on your bumps, on your intro and outro, and get your one good episode in front of your audience every week. Get 10,000-15,000 downloads on that one good episode every single week, and you have like maybe 40,000-50,000 downloads at the end of the month for that one, for your 4 high quality episodes where you're conveying something of value to them. I'm just worried that this cold prospecting thing, or lukewarm prospecting, or warm prospecting, what are you going to call it? It's going to take you down a rabbit hole of doing a lot of work for rewards that will come over a period. Like, you're basically revving up a whole thing all over again. So how long, why would you do that if you haven't yet finished revving up the last thing that you picked?
Well, the last thing has only worked in fits and starts too.
Because you worked it in fits and starts, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not trying to point fingers here, but to be honest, that thing worked in fits and starts because it's never seen the light of the day. It's never been on 200,000 downloads. It's never been on all the shows. It's never been like high quality content that I kept telling you, like you need one piece of high quality content that goes on every freaking episode every week.
Yeah.
That was the motto. That was what I said. We can drive a lot of traffic with that, because that would drive 10,000-15,000 downloads, 10,000-15,000 people listening, and week in and week out, you convey that message to those people, you will get that audience. So that thing hasn't worked because you haven't worked that thing, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
If you look back at the thing and you ask yourself, what's been your, how, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how good an effort you gave it over the last
I had more time
4 months.
I had more time for it in like February, March, and April.
Right. But since like you started it for real, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your effort been like?
Well, it depends on the week.
On that thing, huh?
It depends a lot on the week.
If you look at aggregate overall over the last 3 months,
probably been a 6.
Maybe. Okay. 6. It's not a 10.
Nope, not a 10.
It's not an 8. It's not a 9. So how can we expect anything better than 6 in return?
Yeah.
Right. So now you're telling me you're going to keep doing 6 on that and you're going to do a 10 on this. And I don't buy it. I'd much rather you do 10 on one thing. Otherwise, you're doing 6 on one and you're doing 6 on another. And now you're like all over the place. Now you're like, which one is working? What's not working? Now I'm doing 6 on both. So it's there for you, man. You have it. Like you have the buildings of it. You just need to kind of commit to doing it and giving it 10 hours a week. Like how many weeks have you given it 10 hours a week? I'm not convinced you have.
No, there have been some weeks I have, but not lately. Definitely not.
No, you haven't. If I look back at your 4-month calendar, I bet you maybe 10% of the weeks actually you gave 10 hours to this project. Out of the 16 weeks, 17 weeks in the last 4 months, 18 weeks in the last 4 months, maybe 2 weeks you gave over 10 hours on this project. Is my bet.
Probably.
Yeah. So you haven't given it your all-out effort, to be fair.
Yep.
So that's my 2 cents. I know you're gonna think about it and you're gonna do what you feel is right, but that's my take on this topic.
Yep. I always do what
Shall
I
we?
want.
Huh?
I always do what
Was
I
that?
want. I always wind up
Yes.
doing what I want. I mean, I do take what you guys tell me into consideration, but
Yeah.
I don't always do what you guys tell me to do either. So
No, you don't. That's why I said you're gonna do what you want to do, but I'm gonna give my 2 cents nonetheless.
yeah. No, I
Um,
appreciate it. You know, you wouldn't put in the effort if you didn't care. So
yeah, but give it a thought and see if it aligns with what you're thinking
yep.
or with how you think the business can grow. All right. I think I have to run to another meeting now. So
Yeah.
let's wrap it up before it's too late for me. Thoughts?
Yeah. So my thought is mostly just about just getting away, you know. It's just I just had a lot of that clutter, you know, because my phone would not, there was no cell service out there at all. There was no Wi-Fi at the campground. So
Nice.
I mean, it was pretty much just whatever I brought with me, right? So I listened to an audiobook a couple of times, but mostly it was just to unwind before I went to sleep, right?
I love it.
Right. Yeah, it was just a fiction book. It was a Brandon Sanderson novel. But yeah, just getting that disconnect and being able to kind of, you know, let a lot of this stuff go. You know, I get concerned sometimes over the political or economic or whatever situation out there in the US or this or that or the other. And yeah, there was no way for me to check in on any of that stuff. And so, you know, I got to spend time, you know, talking to the kids in my neighborhood because, you know, it was youth camping. Got to spend some time with my 15-year-old son. Got to know some of the other adults that live around me because my congregation, we all live within like 3 or 4 blocks of each other. And yeah, I mean, it was just a really, really positive experience. And I got time to think about things that I don't spend a lot of time thinking about. So my thought is that periodically you just need to take that step to, you know, step back, step away, take a breath, think about, you know, some deeper aspects of your life and your identity, who you are, who you want to be, and yeah, just really enjoy that.
Nice. Agree with that. For me, the big thing right now that has been on my mind, that's like a lot of work is going on that right now, is testing and the obsession with testing. There are two paths to growth, kind of what we talked about today. One is to go with the hand-to-hand combat, more like, okay, I can answer your questions. You're able to make this, that's more like sales-driven methodology. It's sales. But marketing, on the other hand, is a game of testing. It's a game of a lot of testing. So you have to have the stomach to test. You have to have the stomach to test more and more and more. Because as we're running these tests on Facebook right now with the ads and everything, I realize how much you can test and test and test and improve and improve and improve. And there's almost no end to how much better you can make your copy, your sales page, your offer, your headline, your call to action button. It's like you literally double, triple, quadruple, 5x, 10x just from testing, just from crazy maniacal testing. And that's like the scientific approach to business or to marketing in some ways, is just a maniacal obsession with testing and putting data, putting stuff out there, testing again and again and again, because that's what gives us in the long term the most results. So that's my thought. Test more, especially test the shit ton more in your marketing. It'll always pay off dividends.
Awesome. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. All right, my man. I will see you next week.
Yep. We'll see you next